Okay, we're very excited. We have just checked into Takarakka Bush Resort here in Carnarvon Gorge. We had a 5-hour drive for Yeppoon. It was pretty good. And there was some dusty roads. We kind of went on a bit of a random track for a while. But we got here, we were greeted with some wallabies, and we're at campsite number 4 right now. Corey's setting up tent. And we have 3 nights here, 2 full days to explore. We have a map. We're going to do some planning, and this place looks awesome. We're so excited. So this is the main Takarakka Bush camping area. They have the tents over this way, and this is all the caravans, and I think we're the only rooftop tent in the area, but we're here. We have our showers and toilets over there, and just here is like a nice large open kitchen with barbecues and sinks and drinking water and hot water. And then in front of there is a pond. Is it a pond or maybe a creek? And there's platypuses there. They're a bit hard to spot, but we're hoping to see one during our time here. And there's lots of wallabies around. They're all just jumping everywhere. You're not allowed to feed them. Day 1 at Carnarvon Gorge, and we've decided to do the longer walk on our first day. We want to do a minimum of 14k return, and that's to the art gallery, some aboriginal art. You can go further to a place called Cathedral something, and that has more aboriginal art, but that's 22k return. And as much as we think we could do that, we spend a lot of time taking photos and filming, and I think we're going to be doing that today because it just looks amazing already, and we're just at the entrance and we're very excited. So let's see how far we get today.
So we have just started this trail a couple of minutes ago. We can already see the massive gorge walls.
It's a very beautiful place here. As always, it's the Jurassic Park vibe you get in a lot of places in Australia, especially Queensland, Australia, when you're out in the bush.
So the path here on the main track at Carnarvon Gorge is very wide, it's very well maintained, and there's lots of spots like so to rest on, logs that have fallen that they've turned into chairs, and the steps seem to be all pretty well made, like proper actual steps, not just stones, even with ramps on the side. So if you want a ramp, you can take that option too. We're still cracking on, heading to the moss garden first. There are toilets there.
Onwards. Continuing after a quick toilet break. A really beautiful little creek crossing. The view up there of the massive gorge side. It feels like in this little, I don't know, fairy tale world. It's so beautiful here. There is a lot of shady places on the walk, which is really nice. We're here in, where are we? August. So we're still at the end of winter. If you came in summer, it'd probably be too hot, but at least if you came on those shoulder seasons, there is a lot of coverage from the trees and the gorge cliffs, so you're not in direct sunlight, which is really nice.
We're off to the art gallery now.
300 meters this way, let's go! So at the art gallery there's this wooden boardwalk all the way down looking at the art in the bottom of the gorge. And it's a very spiritual place, so they said to treat this place as if you're visiting like a ancestor's grave. So everyone's very quiet here, just sat, some having snacks, just taking photos, just looking. It's very peaceful, it's very nice here. But there's handprints, there's symbols for burials and goanna and fertility. We have information along the boardwalk, so it's quite interesting to read too. But yeah, I think we're going to just stay here. It's nice and cool in the shade. Maybe have some lunch. Just enjoy this place.
We've just been admiring the work with all the other people who have come out here to hike it this morning. It's done in 3 different ways, 3 different methods. There is stenciling, there's carving, and then there's freehand drawing. And I think the most impressive is the stenciling, where they would put objects, mostly their hands, up against the wall and then make a mixture of a pigment, like a ground up pigmentation, and water in their mouth, and then blow it around their hand so you can see the hands stenciled onto the wall. It's really cool, really effective, and it's really old. But we currently have this whole place to ourselves, so we are just admiring the beauty, and it is so special here.
We're heading back now from the art gallery. On the trail there's actually lots of little side trails you can do, and this one's called Ward's Canyon, and it said it's a short, steep walk to a little waterfall, and some people just said it's really nice, so we're gonna go check it out. Some people passing by said you can feel the cool air as you turn the corner. That is so nice. It's like we just walked into a refrigerator. Yeah. The temperature just dropped. What a place! That's icy cold. The highlight of the walk so far for me. How about you? It's a bit dark in here, but it's so nice and cool. It's just really cool. They built this path all the way through the gorge. Yeah, feels like you're in Indiana Jones style stuff.
So we are at the start of Ward's Canyon now, and this place here is pretty special because as soon as you turn the corner, when you come up the top of the stairs, you feel the temperature drop. The temperature, I think, is regulated from the rocks. When you put your hand on the rock, you can feel the temperature drop. It's like a little time capsule. There is king ferns here, which is the only place that's not coastal that has king ferns still, and that takes you back to when Queensland or Australia was a much cooler climate. But just check it out. It's pretty special.
Going towards the amphitheatre. So this is an extra 1.2k, this little track. It's a side track again. I'm not really sure what to expect, but it sounds impressive, so we better go check it out.
And the clouds are coming over. I don't think it's going to rain. It shouldn't do. But we'll just keep an eye on it, and it's not long to go to get out if we need to.
See the path and where it heads to, and it seems to go up in between that gorge. Looks like there's some kind of bridge in between there, but it looks very dark. A little bit scary. Very cool. The amphitheatre, and I guess you can hear why. It's because their voice is so echoey in here. It'd be really cool if somebody who could hold a note could sing in here. That would sound really cool. No, not you. The entrance in here is really cool, and it builds up to this impressive opening in the gorge. And yeah, wow. This is very, very exciting. Very cool spot. Very impressed. These little side ones, yeah, on the map, there wasn't any pictures, didn't really know what to expect, but yeah, so far they've blown us away, these little side tracks. I think this is probably the main stop now for this day. We'll probably head back to the resort, but tomorrow we're going to go and do the rock pools and another gorge walk. It was called Mickey Creek, maybe? Yeah, Mickey Creek. So I think we're going to do those two tomorrow, but this is the last stop for today and it's pretty epic. We've got about 5k now, back to the car park.
Can you hear that? Right, so we have a waterfall at the exit of the cave. Charlotte is hiding back there. Oh dear.
Just a bit of lightning, that's all. That's all, just 5k's away from the car. Well, I can see a bit, blue car's going, but I think we're just going to wait for this to pass because it looks pretty hectic out there.
Nothing like a good bit of rain to make our dangerous descent slightly more dangerous. We are descending backwards though, so that's the advice we've been given. We'll take it.
JcE&x, that was a bit of an experience. It's very wet and slippy going down those steel stairs. Yeah, but the rain has stopped for now, so we're going to scoot it. Scoot.
What can you see?
Wallaby! Day 2 at Carnarvon Gorge, and the first place we're going to is Mickey Creek.
So we've been told that Mickey Creek is one of the more picturesque. I mean, this place is all pretty incredible, but this is the place where a lot of people come to take photos. So we are on the lookout, we have our eyes peeled, looking for those photo opportunities, and we've been told to go a little bit further than the track goes, because I think it gets a little bit nicer after the track ends too. So we'll see how it goes. We'll tell you how far we end up going.
Nice and shady, it's nice and cool still, but it's supposed to get very hot today. So we're out early. We left about 8 a.m. But it's a nice temperature right now. I'm just having a look at my map. So we're now on this Mickey Creek one, but the lady said, so that one down there is where we need to continue. But we'll finish the Mickey Creek walk and turn back, eh? Track ends.
We've decided to continue walking from where the formed track ends, and now we are rock hopping. Cool, so that Mickey Creek section, we went about 100, maybe 200 meters past the end of the trail, and it got pretty cool. There was some nice light, some cool fallen logs over the creek, and we were able to get up on top of one of them. But it looks like you can continue on, basically follow the creek, probably to the source. You can follow that thing all the way up, I guess. We're not going to do that today because we want to get to the rock pools for a swim, and maybe to the top of a boolimba bluff. I think we're going.
We've left the formed track and continued on just a tiny bit. But yeah, like the other one, it's a little bit unkept around here, but we're still in the shade. The sun is just about to peek over the gorge up there. Yeah, it's very pretty. It's nice and cool down here, but our guy said further along there's another really cool, did he say like canyon? We've gone past the marked end, and now we're going to follow this path all the way down there. Some people just said it's a really cool canyon and it's really narrow, but you can walk through it. And they showed us some photos, it looks pretty cool.
We're going to get into the chasm now, and it's pretty ominous looking. Down this way is safety, this way, uncertainty. Right, I think that this is probably one of the underrated little gorges to go through. We have been going up here for maybe only 200 meters or so, and it's just got so cool. You can see the layers of the stones that's been baked into the sandstone over millennia. So this section has all been carved out by water, and then it reveals the layers of the sediment, but it's so cool here. It's so cool. Can't get over how cool this place is. I think you could just go through this all the way. I don't know where it might stop. It seems like it's quite a wide path, but it does get narrower and narrower the further on it goes. But what an awesome adventure. We are back on the main track at Carnarvon Gorge, and we are taking a little hike up to Boolimba Bluff, which is a rocky, well, they call it the roof of Queensland. It's the tabletop, or the tablelands, which make up the top of the cliff walls. And we are going to hike up there. It is 3k's up, 3k's back, and it's mostly uphill, 900 odd steps, so let's go.
Boolimba Bluff, many steep sections of steps and ladders, only suitable for the physically fit. I don't feel physically fit right now.
I think Charlotte and I are both going to have to dig deep for this one. Don't know if you can see, but that's the cliff top that we're going to try and get to. It's quite the way up, and after yesterday's adventures, a couple of long days driving and hiking, we are going to have to dig very deep.
I kind of want to sit and rest already, but I'm going to try and power through and just have a nice long rest at the top. The adventure has begun. Yeah, a lot of steel ladders, and it's pretty rugged up here, but I think this just makes it more fun. Yeah, there's a nice cool breeze which I'm really appreciating because it is scorching today.
Thankfully they do have bench seats along the way, so you can take a little rest like Charlotte's doing now. But it's pretty steep, but nice and cool in this little canyon, because it doesn't look like it gets much sun in here, so touching the rocks again, they're nice and cool, and they regulate the temperature for us, as well as a nice breeze running down. So along the way you'll be able to see the way that the porous sandstone has just been eroded away. Looks like water's been trickling down the back there, and eventually the whole rock face has just come down, and there's boulders everywhere, so it wouldn't be the first time it's happened, and I think it won't be the last. Alright, I think we're getting up to the top of the plateau now. Charlotte is ready for a break. We've decided we're going to have a picnic at the top and just take in the views and rest.
That was so hard. I don't know which way that was, 1k of steps. Oh Lord, I'm glad that's over.
At least when we get to the top it is so flat, there is no more change of altitude. We're just on a flat track, looks like, to the lookout, and pretty keen to see. We're surprised that it's another 700 meters, but pretty keen to see the lookout from. This is like the entrance to Carnarvon Gorge, this bluff, so it'll be a good one. We're starting to see the opposite gorge wall now, so I think we're getting very, very close.
Definitely worth those leg aching, back breaking ladders and stairs to see this view. I've been carrying my Polaroid camera around with me. I keep forgetting, but I want to try and take pictures in special places on our trip, and we think this place is pretty special, so I'm just waiting for this one to develop. We tried to get the view in, but it was quite hard. We just did a long arm. This is the roof of Queensland. It's just up from the last little lookout and it's kind of more open over here. It's out of the gorges.
We have got one valuable fact for you to take away from this area. We've learnt how these places were created. There's two main types of rock here. There's igneous and sedimentary. The sedimentary rock is a sandstone that was laid down over hundreds of millions of years. I believe it was a large river basin. So a lot of sediment was compacted over a long period of time. After that, there was a uplifting of the land. There was a geological movement, I guess you would call it, where the land rose up, and then on top of that sandstone, there was a lava flow from a volcanic eruption. Lava flow created the igneous rock basalt, which caps these mountains now, and that stops the tablelands from being eroded. The sandstone underneath is then protected, and the erosion takes place in the main river channels, which carved out this massive Carnarvon Gorge, and then all the little chasms from in between the little nooks and crannies around the gorge. That's all from water and wind erosion over a long periods of time, and gives us an awesome place to go and explore. So that's how all of this came to be in 30 seconds. Okay, we've come about 1 kilometre back up the road from the visitor centre, and we have arrived at the rock pool car park. We're just taking a short 350 metre walk down to the rock pools. Not really sure what to expect, but we're hoping that we can get in because we are hot from our walk. Okay, we've just got to the end of the formed track, and I guess this is the area where you're supposed to swim, but it looks a little bit gross and I can smell horse poo. So we're gonna carry on and see what else we can find.
I'm glad we carried on because it opens up to this and it looks so much nicer. Alright, time to get in. Let's be brave and jump in. Done. Yes, I think that was a pretty good way to end our time here in Carnarvon, but we're gonna go and have a hot shower before the sun goes down. But yeah, that was pretty epic.